everyone. Welcome back to our 12 Days of Christmas, and today we're making a seasonal pillowcase. You can do it seasonally, you can do it themed for your favorite person's team, whatever you want. Quick and easy gifts. So let's make a pillowcase. Honestly, you just need a machine, some thread, and 3 pieces of coordinating fabric. It's that simple. So the first thing we're going to do is take our big one, and I didn't say this is 3/4 of a yard for each pillowcase. And think about this, you could make pillowcases for all your family and themed fabric, and they're just great little gifts year round. So we're starting with the body is 3/4 of a yard. Then we have the cuff, which is 1/4 of a yard. And then I'm even going to put a little flange on mine. This piece is entirely optional. It just, it's Christmas, little red and green with the gnomes will be cute. So it is 1/8 of a yard. And it's all width of fabric. So let's get started putting it together. Now, we have our pieces. We have our cuff, the body of our pillowcase, and the accent piece. The accent piece, I have folded it in half, wrong sides together, pressed all the pieces. I have not trimmed the selvages off yet. We can do that later. That helps us know how to lay this out. So your selvages should be on the left and the right. We're laying everything out right side up. So first you want the cuff. Then we have the body. And then the accent piece. All the raw edges at the top. And it doesn't matter if your ends do not come out even. Of course, we'll trim it down. Now, our layers are together. And we're gonna go back to our elementary days when we used to fan fold a piece of paper and fan ourselves after recess. So just start at the bottom. And this is not an exact science because this is not going to be sewn this way. We're just doing this to get it out of the way of our seam. Some people actually just take and start rolling. I just think this is a little bit easier. And I'm actually going to roll right here just to make sure. And now I'm going to pull my accent up, the cuff, and I'm going to place it in that clip, being very careful to keep my fan part down here. We don't want to catch it in the seam. I'll even add a few extra clips. And our body, remember, do not let it get caught in your clips. So we're going to take our tube or our burrito to the sewing machine now And all we have to do is put a seam down through here, and then the magic starts to happen. All right, now I'm ready to sew my seam. I'm using a straight stitch. I have my width 3.5 standard and 2.5 for my stitch length. That's fine for the pillowcase. I'm also using about a 3/8 inch seam. I want it a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch. So let's get started. I'm actually going to put some reinforcement just inside my selvage line, because I know that's where it's going to get cut. And make sure that you have that cuff there, that you're going through all the layers. Now we're ready to open up our burrito. So I'm starting by pulling that fan out. And by having it folded like the fan, it makes it a little bit easier to come out, I think. I'll turn it this way so you can see it's really starting to look real. That easy. Now, I'm going to take it and press it a little bit. Doesn't need much, but we'll press it, and then the next thing we're going to do will be to put the bottom and the sides together, and you'll have a pillowcase. Now, to make our side seam and our bottom, we're going to do a French seam on this. So we'll have a finished edge. Just a couple of clips along here, just so it doesn't slip. Make sure you got all your selvages trimmed off. Here we go. And different French seams, they tell you different widths. We're kind of gonna go with the scant 1/4. I think that's all we need. I moved my needle position. I think 2 ticks to the right, and I'm using my guide on my J-foot. But again, that's not rocket science, so if yours is a little bigger, that's okay. It's just whatever you like to sew with. I'm going to do the same thing along the bottom. Normally, I would have all the weight on my left side, but this does get a little heavy, and I just think it's easier if I kind of fold it once I get my bottom straight. And I'm going to put that on the inside. I'm going to turn it wrong side out. Now that we've turned it wrong side out, oops, give me a minute. Forgot to do the corner. Sorry about that. Not much to it. Easy as that. And we're going to finger press as we go along, and we're going to sew a 1/4 of an inch, half inch, excuse me. We're going to sew a 1/2 inch, and that way we're sure that we catch that scant 1/4 that was on the outside of our pillowcase. It will now be enclosed from that side, and it will just be a normal seam. You will not see a raw edge. Okay, let's go. Okay, we are finished. We're ready to turn it. And we have a pillowcase. Look at that. And you may have a thread or two to trim up afterwards. Depends on your fabric, no big deal. And give it a little press, and look at that. How cute is that? I can't wait to put it on my bed this weekend.